The Glass House. It contains sex references, adult themes, and material that may offend some viewers.
Ahead in the Glass House. Out now, Inside Shane magazine, for women who like their blondes extra dumb. This month, the fiery Casanova of the dance floor. How to look more attractive to Shane. Just give him more to drink. Expert dieting advice from Shane's mum. And wife Simone tells you how to forgive and forget, no matter who he goes off with. We even tell you how to meet Shane, and then how to get rid of him when you start getting the text messages. Get Inside Shane today. It's the magazine that wants to see your tits.
Friday night, welcome to the Glass House, the program that asks the question, now Pauline Hanson's gone down for fraud, how long before she has to start going down for cigarettes? Hello, ABC complaints. More news than Jamie Jury's powerful thighs this week, but one of the most intelligent stories comes from here in the cartoon country. A government job agency has come up with a questionnaire that shows job seekers these 4 men and asks which they'd prefer to buy a car from or marry their sister, and which would be more likely to use drugs or vote Labor. The questionnaire is called the First Impressions Exercise, and on First Impressions, you wouldn't let man A anywhere near your children or small animals, and you'd buy drugs from man D because it looks like they're working. The question, who would you expect to vote Labor, is actually a trick. Not even the Labor Party expects people to vote Labor now. Interestingly, Labor voters tended to assume the long-haired and bearded figure was an academic, whereas Liberal voters assumed it was a lesbian. The first guy is white and wearing a suit. The second guy is also white with an open-neck shirt. The third guy has a t-shirt and slightly darker skin. And the fourth guy has a fake moustache, little horns, and a sign that says ATSIC. Either that or it's actually 4 pictures of the same guy over 6 months of trying to get work through the job network. Corinne Gregg's in hiding until she can clear her name, so take yours!
How you going, Will? Mate, tonight I'm happy and proud.
Happy and proud.
As well as being sad and ashamed. I'll tell you why. I've found out the Australians are working harder than ever, which makes me so proud to be an Aussie. But it's killing us, which saddens me. I don't want any Aussies to die. Seriously though, apparently last year 30% more people died from heart attacks at work than the year before. I mean, what a way to go, dying at work. I mean, who'd want that unless your job was to have sex with supermodels? And they're very hard jobs to get. I know, I've applied. Seriously though, we're working our bloody things off. We're not even taking sick days. No one's taking sick days. People are sick and they're going to work. How sick is that? That's very sick. And now the ACTU, they're on to it. They know what's going on. But a lot of people are working over 50 hours a week, and the ACTU said, look, that's causing accidents at work. People are too tired. They want to make 48-hour weeks the maximum. And I agree with that, and I reckon what you should do, we should start work on Monday morning, 10 o'clock, work straight through to Wednesday morning, and have 5 days off. That's the way to do it.
All right, let's get to it. Joining me and Dave to throw some stones in the Glass House tonight, ABC multimedia star Shelley Horton and clean-cut legend of the pool, Matt Walsh. And the stand-up pin-up from Melbourne, Terry Siakis. and shakers. First up, rage. It's all the rage. Society is full of anger. We've got road rage, air rage, surf rage, roid rage, queue rage, party rage, and lots more. When you drag to IKEA and get annoyed because everything's that awful wood colour, that's beige rage. Underpaid go-go dancers are particularly susceptible to stage cage wage rage. Strap yourself in. There are even people angry about the ABC's late night music program. Yep, rage. There's also the anger you get reading newspaper articles in Melbourne about juvenile delinquents. Teenage rampage outrage on the front page of The Age rage. Strangely, boat owners never suffer from rage, although they can get anchor rancor. Terry, you like a good dummy spit? Is rage taken over, mate?
Absolutely. Well, rage is the new black at the moment. Like last year it was hipsters, this year it's smashing in someone's windscreen with your club lock. You know? And people are trying to blame it on movies and TV and stuff and say that, you know, that's why people are more incited to be raging and stuff like that. And I just think part of me understands that. Like, you sit through an hour of Australian Idol and you are gonna want to thump. You know, every time... Exactly.
And it's going to come out in road rage, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You're going to be, you're a dickhead, you can't drive, you're not coming to Sydney.
I know. And your dad's not proud of you.
Do you love road rage? I enjoy it. I've only recently taken it up, but it's a lot of fun. If you're at the lights and they've turned green and there's someone in front of you and they don't go, they're taking away some of your life.
Is it raging like in swimming?
Pool rage,
Is
lane
it pool
rage.
Oh, your lane rage, where you're like,
yeah.
when you're at your local pool and you like there's somebody in the slow lane that should be in like a bit that sort of stuff.
Well, the fast lane's always pretty full, and we've usually got lanes set aside for us to train, and they're usually much emptier, so people come in and start swimming with us. And yeah, I've been in a bit of a push and fight, and please get out of my lane, I'm trying to swim, and you know, try and everything.
Well, they're trying to swim as well, Matt. You're both trying to swim. And the fact that you're faster than them really shouldn't be their fault.
I didn't mind. He minded that I was passing him. I didn't mind
So
whatsoever.
you get some little medal that says, you know, world record holder, and just like go up to people and go, mate, I've got a world record. You couldn't run up the side of the pool as fast as I can.
Seriously, Matt, why haven't you got your own pool?
If you'd like to buy me one, please do.
Well, what do you do in pool rage? Like, do you just smack someone over the head with a kickboard, or what?
No, you take a knife and you stab them.
Can you imagine Thorpe having a bit of pool rage, couldn't you? Get out of my...
Matt, defend Thorpe. You're going to put up with that about Thorpe?
Don't defend Thorpe. He was the guy who was trying to cotton in on your event as a body.
He was.
Commonwealth Games.
It's all good. We're all part of the same team.
No, not that team.
We didn't mean that.
Australian team.
What are you doing with it?
Going with it now.
In the poolway, luckily, we can all swim and the other people can't, so we just try and drown them. And
It's all about this like mental health thing. Did you see this was on the paper this week where Crazy John, you know, your mobile phone guy, might have to stop calling himself Crazy John because the mental health people are saying, well, that's making fun of crazy people. You're not going to buy a mobile phone from a guy called Rational and Sane Sensible John. G'day, I'm Rational Sane Sensible John from Rational Sane Sensible John's mobile phone company. I've ordered the exactly right amount of phones from the factory and some of them have got to go.
Maybe he should just change his terminology. Like, if they don't want him to call himself crazy, I would definitely buy a mobile phone from someone who called themselves Mr. Nutbag. Well, I would give that a go.
Do you think they might have large genitals?
You know, Warner, you'd buy his phone there. But next movers and shakers are the big beefy blokes of Australia who are being encouraged to join belly dancing classes because of the health and weight loss benefits. And why not? These days women can do stuff that's traditionally just for men, like, you know, wearing trousers or voting. So... you can tell Corinne's not here. But fellas, be warned, making it twirl like a propeller isn't strictly belly dancing. The main problem is the name belly dancing, because it does sound a bit effeminate. Men prefer to call it gut strutting. Or air humping. You know what the weird thing is? My nipples are doing the YMCA. Matt, you prefer a bit of air humping? Want to try a bit of belly dancing?
It could be the next thing between gold and silver. So, you know, that core work, that good core work, because we do a lot of that in swimming. It's not just bench press, this bicep curl, that. It's core body work. So I think I'm already set to go on the belly dancing.
What
core's
core
more
mean?
in the middle, I would say. Just on straight definition of the word core.
So not your arms.
No.
No, your arms aren't involved in the core.
No, not in belly dancing that much.
What I want to know though is, don't the outfits put you off? The belly dancing outfits?
Well, we could just do it in the full Speedo gear. We could have the
well, you don't go the full Speedo though, do you? Because Thorpe's got the big, the suit and stuff. And because the old days it was just dick stickers, like it was budgie smugglers. Like, when did that change? When did it go from budgie smugglers to suddenly you're allowed to... What do you call it?
When the marketing department...
Budgie smugglers.
I've never heard, I'm 32 and I've never heard the term budgie smuggler.
I don't think you've missed out on much.
Because in the old days it was like, you didn't want to dive into the cold pool before you stood up there on the telly. You just go, and everyone's like,
Well,
and they do that with you a lot, Matt. That was a joke. I've never checked you out.
Why not? It used to be, I'd jump up for Olympics or whatever, you'd stand up in front of 15,000 people live and then millions of people in front of the TV, just in your budgie smugglers, and just set up there, and I was quite comfortable, I was quite happy with that. But now you stand up in a full suit with everything, and I almost feel overdressed for the occasion. I'm thinking, I'm fully dressed here, I'm not ready to jump in a pool. But no, I just wear the pants just because it's classy, it's all chip and tail.
Are you serious about trying belly dancing though? Because I've actually done belly dancing classes.
You've done it?
I have, when I was at university.
Was there any guys?
There were no guys, and so obviously it was very hard to pick up, so I actually invented my own move, which is a masculine kind of move. It's called the twist top stubby, and I reckon Matt would be good at it. Like me. You have to
show us, for sure.
Okay, you have to see this. Bring it on, sister. So, imagining a twist top stubby, okay?
Matter of fact, I got it now.
I'm a bit sus on this. If a guy's doing belly dancing, I feel the same way about that I do about guys who do yoga. Like, are you there for your flexibility, or are you there to check out chicks bending over? Like, really?
Bending over?
Yeah.
Flexibility could be an excellent sort of byproduct.
Guys go to yoga for two reasons. To either check out girls bending or to see if they can... Anyway, these are the things, if you heard this, and female friends with me have told me this, you can tell what a guy will be like in bed by the way he dances.
Well, I don't get that much, so I wouldn't know, personally. I don't know, I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah, if they're a good dancer, you know they're good in the sack. Guaranteed.
Well, what if they just spend all their time having sex and never dance? You see me dance. I've seen you and Will together laughing at me dancing. Seriously,
is that all they were laughing at you, though?
We were laughing with you.
I was laughing. You were gorgeous. You were on the dance floor. You were by yourself, admittedly, but you were dancing and you were giving it such a red-hot go. And you were just
patronising. Basically, put it this way, Dave. You're all right, but if you made love like you danced, most of your body would just lay there and your head would just go. Shakers are some of Sydney's hippest restaurants, which have been getting a bit of unwanted publicity lately because they're run and staffed by a pack of arrogant assholes. In many restaurants, corkage describes what you feel like shoving up the dickhead waiter. Some staff won't even let you in if they don't think you're cool enough. And just being thin and beautiful won't do it. If the restaurant's having a slow night, they'll only seat fat people who look like they can eat the place back into profit. Mr. Crow, your table. But it really doesn't pay to get offside with your waiter, because even in a good light, you can never be sure what's on your oyster. Shelley, you're never sure what's on your oyster? Got a restaurant horror story?
A friend of mine who had been out having a lot of after-work drinks went to a very swanky restaurant in Sydney, and after the main meal realised she was going to be sick. So she ran to the loo, did the whole handover, didn't make it,
spew everywhere. And so she had to sit back at the table while they cleaned everything up. And the waiter just came back over to her, handed her a menu and said, "Would madam like dessert now that she's made room?"
Why are they so arrogant, waiters, so often?
Well, like, lots of waiters are really cool. Like,
Yeah,
lots
a lot
of
of
waiters
them
do
are
work
good.
really
Some
hard,
of
but then
them-
there's some who just think, like...
Some of them just want to go, it's not my fault you stuffed up your bloody home and away audition. You know? Blame me.
From having worked in customer service before, I know that sometimes the customer is always right and sometimes the customer is a dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, you spend a lot of time in customer service doing what I like to call DWD, and that's dealing with dickheads. And sometimes it just gets a little bit much and you just lash out.
When I started swimming to pay the wage, so to speak, to pay for swimming, I started off being a waiter and at big functions, and it was usually start off with a bit of alcohol, have a bit of alcohol, then have some food, some more alcohol. So you start off being really nice to them, because
then,
when they remember,
yeah.
and then when they start going a little bit off the handle and you're just not, you know, you're thinking they're not going to remember this, then you start, you know, getting your own back. But
Were you just, like,
they're
faster
sober,
than all the other waiters?
I could get a water.
It's one of those things where anything that particularly pisses you off in restaurants, for me, pepper shaker. Like, you know how, like, in some restaurants you go to, like, there's most places they have pepper and salt, and there's some that's just like, "Would you like some pepper?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll put it on." No, no! I keep the pepper shaker, and you're like, "Well, good on you, Frodo." But
They've got one job, let him do it.
But what's also with, like, the pepper envy? Like, when they get that big.
Guys, turn, monsieur.
I was once in a restaurant and it had run out of pepper. I'm thinking, how unlucky am I?
we shouldn't be too hard on bad staff, because not everyone is cut out for a job in customer service. A lot of them work for Telstra.
Later in the Glass House, the Prime Minister discusses plans to use refugees as filler for potholes in Canberra roads.
We won't be doing anything that leaves a gap.
Plans to settle the conflict between Russia and Chechnya through breakdancing. Alexander Downer reveals that he too gets phone sex messages from Shane Warne.
I must say I was very anxious that this not be publicised.
Time to pin the tail on the great unwatched. Has anyone got a story from the week they'd like us to talk about? Anyone? Oh, over there somewhere, was it?
I want to know what you guys think of this nude English hiker.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, okay, Dave, have you seen this guy who's
Yeah,
hiking?
he's going to need a lot of sun lotion, isn't he? he's hiking around England, it's just completely nude.
Why?
He's got a backpack on.
So he's got a
Yeah.
package.
He's got a package.
Why is he doing
Why? Isn't he supposed to
It's
be
all
like...
nature boy.
It's meant to make, you know, draw attention to the fact that people should be more comfortable with their nudity and stuff.
Well, when you walk, you usually get, you know, a little bit of
jangle.
rubbing. Yeah, like, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be vast right up.
There's definitely another reason not to do the nude walking, because I work for Entertainment Tonight America and I was covering Eco Challenge, which is like an extreme race over in Borneo. And these racers are going through this jungle and there's lots of leeches. And so they decided to strip off so that when the leeches got on them, they could just, like, pick them off.
I'm sure.
Logical.
Except I was standing right next to the doctor when this call came through, and seriously, it was a guy screaming, and I've never heard a guy scream like this before. He sounded like a woman. And when the doctor calmed him down, he said, "What's up, mate?" And he said, "There's a leech up the eye of my penis."
Ouchie, welchie.
What do you think the what do you think the medical advice was to remove the leech?
Oh.
Masturbate.
They had to do it quietly.
And it worked.
I'll be out in a minute, Mum. I'm just getting rid of a leech. Has anyone else got something else? Oh, over here. Oh. You'll be a wizard one day, Harry. What's your question?
What do you guys think of Pauline Hanson going to jail?
Oh, Pauline Hanson in jail, Dave.
Well, she's our version of Nelson Mandela, I think.
But with more frocks.
She's a political prisoner, isn't she? 3 years inside.
3 years is a long time.
It's a
I
long-
think, though, you could understand the reason she was actually put in jail was just stupidity. Like,
Yeah.
she's not a criminal mastermind.
That's what you want.
I think people would be pretty sympathetic in jail with her, though.
She is going to be somebody's bitch in about 5
I loved at the trial she said she was very innocent. Not just innocent, she's very innocent.
Anyone else?
What do you guys think of the block?
Oh, the final episode of The Block. I might come back and have a chat about this, but Terry, I know you're a massive fan of The Block.
Huge fan of The Block. Look, I think big fan of The Block and big fan of Amity, particularly the singer. I think that, I mean, her, in the end of the whole thing, the price of their apartment was the lowest, so like they basically lost it. And I think that, you know, maybe if she'd spent less time singing and more time renovating, she would have done a better job.
I can't wait for the next block because I got so into it.
The auction was full on though. That was
The auction, I was
nail-biting.
full on when Jamie Drury was getting fondled.
Wasn't that just like, her hand was going up and up the leg. It was like Larry Emder was over the other side of the room going higher, higher, higher.
Just like the old manpower,
It was
just
like,
bringing back to
seriously, yeah, she was going to put a $5 in the juice. It was like the block and tackle. It was like...
Hey, when the apartment sold, the bloody champagne cork popped it.
I think that's why, like, that auction, like, it was, they had, like, 5 times as many bids as the winning house, and I think, like, they were going up in $500 increments. It was just going for ages. I think it was because Jamie Drury had agreed to take off an item of clothing for every bid. It was going more,
I thought it
more.
was Eddie Maguire was hosting it, and after the break, we'll
It was really one of those things. Crazy John bought one of the houses too. Did you see that?
You know you've done a top renovating job when it's bought by a psycho, really.
Just outbid Dorothy the dinosaur.
I love Crazy John though, and he's going to rent it out and give the money to charity. He's not going to sell it, just rent it out.
3.3 million Australians. It was the most successful TV series in Australian history.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Seriously, 3.3 million people in one episode. That's like a whole year for us.
Yeah, but we get quality viewers.
I'll tell you what. And they're easy. What about the controversy about Woz and Gaz? Because that was the big thing at the start, wasn't it? Like, you know, 2 gay guys.
Seriously, you had
Sunday
John
night.
Laws and all these people coming out saying they don't want to watch gay people on TV. I thought they were fantastic. I love them.
plenty
I'm
of
just
gay people
concerned
on
about
TV.
the whole, you know, doing the renovation in the Y fronts. I really didn't
Yeah,
need to
there's
see
a lot of
that.
undies action with those two. Like, in all the publicity photos in the magazines, they're all down to their jocks, and I just think, keep a bit of mystery.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine us walking around just in like jocks or speedos. It'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Do you know something else that's really weird, just slightly off the subject, is I did a bit of research as a journo, and I knew that Matt was coming on the show, and I thought, I'm just trying to check everything out. There's actually an American gay porn star called Matt Welsh.
I have a moonlighting job,
And he always comes first.
See about it, Matty.
Yeah.
You see about it, mate. You'll own that pool one day.
Theoretically, now you've seen me in action. Am I a good dancer?
What were you doing trawling the web?
Now, were you actually looking? Were you looking for me, or were you looking for gay porn?
Yes, it's time to award the coveted Glasshouse Trophy, which this week is called... And the winner of the partial loss of bladder control dead man walking frame is Texas cook Red Roundtree, who's been arrested yet again for robbing a bank. Red started his life of crime when he was 80. He's now 91. Police say Red always uses the same MO. He walked into the bank with a note saying, "This is a stick-up. Please keep reminding me if I forget." But But Red was out of luck this time. He was captured after a high-speed chase down the bank's wheelchair ramp. They also arrested 2 Boy Scouts who tried to get Red away by helping him across the road. So the trophy goes to the codger bandit, Red Roundtree. He's not looking forward to going back to jail because he knows what happens in there to attractive pensioners during their sponge baths. Stop it, Pauline. Well, that's the way it is for Friday, August the 22nd. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Terry. If you haven't already had a look already, check out the Glasshouse website. And let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines. From the Canberra Times, Wilson Tucky's son gets favours, but not enough to counter being Wilson Tucky's son. The Fin Review reports, Queen rejects death penalty polls. Polls show Queen to get death penalty at next election. The UK Mail has Blair advisor denies he sexed up Iraq document. Saddam basic instinct photo real. In the Herald Sun, Warren fondled my breasts, claims chicken shop proprietor. And the International Herald Tribune says, Bush panics as US again in darkness. It's called night, Mr. President. Advisors. Good night!
Hello, this is Andrew Denton asking you to join me next Monday night at 9:30 on Enough Rope, where my very special guest is Guy Pearce. That's right, Monday night, 9:30, Enough Rope. Please join me then.